Alexa, open the magic door.
Welcome back to the magic door. In front of us is a land of adventures that begins here, with 3 roads. One leads to the mountains. Another leads to the sea. The last is a spooky adventure starting on a path into the dark forest. Oh my, there is also a special envelope here for us to open. Would you like to go to the mountains, to the sea, or to the dark forest? You could also open the envelope.
To the sea.
Okay, follow me on a sandy path leading up to a bluff overlooking the sea. The path takes us through tall grass up a big hill until we come to the edge. The bluff is high above the shoreline, where waves crash below. We can see so much from up here. The sea seems to reach forever. As we look out to the water, we see a boat floating next to the shore below. There appears to be a narrow path here that leads down to the boat. We also spot an eagle soaring directly above us. We watch him fly over a nearby bench and then into a forest of pine trees about 50 feet ahead. Would you like to walk down the path to the boat, follow the eagle, or go to the bench?
Follow the eagle.
We see him circling above the tall pine trees in the forest. We walk down the sandy path toward the trees. Soon, the vegetation around us thickens. The trees become dense, and we suddenly run into a very tall wrought iron fence. In the middle of the path, there is a large gate with a bronze keyhole. A metal sign with painted letters hangs near the keyhole. What would you like to do now?
Read the sign.
We approach the gate and read the metal sign. In hand-painted letters, it says, "Please come in." What would you like to do now?
Open the gate.
I open the gate. As we walk through the gate, we hear the eagle call out. He lands atop a very tall tree just inside the forest. We walk deeper into the forest and immediately notice how dark it is. We can't see or hear the eagle anymore. Thunder booms. And we watch as lightning appears in the sky near the mountains where the tower sits. A huge storm is centered above it. All of a sudden, a huge flash of light brightens the entire sky. Then, we hear a horrible shriek. But just as quickly as it all started, the sky suddenly clears and the clouds settle down. We start down the sandy path again. However, it is so dark we can barely see it. We keep walking among the trees and thankfully, we soon see a faint light in the distance. We move toward it. Oh, a lantern hanging on the branch of a large pine tree illuminates 3 interesting things in front of us: a wooden sign below it, a bright red door in the tree's trunk, and a metal mailbox on a post just next to the door. We hear the faint sound of a flute in the forest. What would you like to do now?
Read the sign.
We investigate the wooden sign. In bright green letters, it reads, "Welcome. Please ring the bell and come in." What would you like to do now?
Ring the bell.
Okay. You pull on a cord on the bell above the door. The bell rings. Oh, the door pops open. We go inside. We are in a tiny room, but big enough for a small table and chair. There are also 2 doorways. One is the doorway to the forest outside. The other is a doorway with stairs leading down. What would you like to do next?
Look at the table.
Let's see what's on the table. There is a small gold skeleton key and a notepad with a pen. What would you like to do next?
Pick up the key.
You pick up the key. It is a small gold skeleton key. You put it in your pocket. What would you like to do next?
Look at the notepad and pen.
I look at the notepad. There is a message on it that reads, "Have gone to look for 4-leaf clovers." What would you like to do next?
Look at the chair.
Let's look at the chair. On it sits a fancy book. I pick it up. The cover is made of dark red leather. The title, "Magical Recipes," is printed in shiny gold letters on the front. A bookmark marks a page, and I turn to it. Look, the page is entitled, "Recipe for Giant Fairy Fern." There is a list of ingredients: 1 4-leaf clover, 1 mangrove tree root, a handful of pine tree needles, and 1 pebble laced with dragon's breath. Underneath the list are the following instructions. Take all ingredients and cook in a large copper kettle until boiling. After cooling, pour potion over any newly planted seeds. Within a day, your fern will start to grow. Within a week, it should reach its full height. Remember, final plant height is over 2,000 meters, so plant your seeds wisely. Interesting. The page is loose and I am able to pull it out of the book. I will keep this recipe page safe for us. What would you like to do next?
Repeat the scene.
We are in a tiny room, but big enough for a small table and chair. There are also 2 doorways. One is the doorway to the forest outside. The other is a doorway with stairs leading down. What would you like to do next?
Go down the stairs.
We head down a narrow, circular staircase. It takes us to an underground tunnel. The tunnel is dimly lit with lanterns on the wall. The ground is dirt and the walls are stone. As we walk down the tunnel, we pass a big metal clock on the wall to our right. Soon after, we pass a small wooden door on our left. We can also barely hear music coming from further down the tunnel. What would you like to do now?
Open the wooden door.
Let's check out the wooden door. I try the doorknob and it opens into a dark closet with dusty shelves. The shelves are empty except for a single glass bottle with a rubber stopper. I will pick it up and keep it safe for us. What would you like to do now?
Go down the tunnel.
We continue walking down the tunnel. Again, there is the faint sound of music. Do you hear it? It is getting louder as we walk, and it seems to be the same melody over and over. The tunnel curves to the right, and we see what appears to be the end of the tunnel. At the end, there is a ladder leaning against the wall. Next to the ladder sits a small upright piano. The piano plays, by itself, the melody we've been hearing. What would you like to do now?
Look at the piano.
We look more closely at the small piano. As it plays, the piano's keys are moving by themselves. We notice a single sheet of paper sitting on the piano's music rack. At the top, someone has handwritten the title, A Dragon's Lullaby. Underneath that title, 7 music notes are written: B, G, A, D, E, F, C. We should probably remember these notes. I'll read them again. B, G, A, D, E, F, C. They may be important later. What would you like to do now?
Go up the ladder.
We climb up the ladder, which is made of wood. The ladder leads to a small opening at the top of the tunnel wall. We both are able to fit through the opening and stand up in a new very large space that contains quite a surprise. We appear to be in a cave and before us lies a sleeping dragon. His green body is all curled up on a bed of gray pebbles in the middle of the cave. Water drips from stalactites above, and the dragon breathes heavily in and out. We still hear the music from the piano below. Let's hope that music really is a lullaby to keep him asleep. What should we do now?
Go closer to the dragon.
Really? Okay, but let's move very quietly. We tiptoe across the cave and approach the pile of pebbles. The dragon is so close now. His hot, noisy breath is making me very nervous. What should we do now?
Pick up a pebble.
Okay, let's move closer to the pebbles. Be very quiet. The dragon is so close. You pick up a pebble and hand it to me. It is warm from being so close to the dragon's breath. I will keep it safe for us. What should we do now?
Go down the ladder.
Okay, let's get out of here. We go back down the ladder and run through the tunnel. We pass the small wooden door and the big metal clock on the wall. We come upon the staircase at the other end and go up, back to the small room inside the tree. We are in a tiny room, but big enough for a small table and chair. There are also 2 doorways. One is the doorway to the forest outside. The other is a doorway with stairs leading down. What would you like to do next?
Go outside.
We walk outside the tree, back into the forest. A lantern hanging on the branch of a large pine tree illuminates 3 interesting things in front of us. A wooden sign below it, a bright red door in the tree's trunk, and a metal mailbox on a post just next to the door. We hear the faint sound of a flute in the forest. What would you like to do now?
Look at the mailbox.
We walk to the small metal mailbox. I try to open it, but it is locked. However, you notice and point to engraved letters on the side. It reads, E.F. Greenleaf. What would you like to do now?
Unlock the mailbox.
We go to the mailbox just outside the door and try the key we picked up on the table. It fits. Inside the mailbox is an envelope marked, Please open. What would you like to do now?
Open the envelope.
Okay. You open the envelope and unfold a single piece of paper. There are 3 black seeds tucked inside. There is also a handwritten message that reads, Plant these seeds next to the fairy's garden gate. Sprinkle them with potion. Then you must wait. They will grow and grow into something great. I will keep the seeds and the message safe for you. What would you like to do now?
Follow the flute.
We walk toward the sound of the flute, taking a narrow dirt path that winds around the treehouse and into the dense forest. Ahead, we see a faint light swinging back and forth. The flute sounds get louder. Soon we see a little man with a pointed hat. He is carrying a small flute in one hand and a lantern in the other as he walks briskly toward us. He greets us.
Hello, fellow travelers. I am Eddie Flynn Greenleaf, a friendly gnome who lives here in these woods. I am looking for some clever folk to help me in a quest. Are you interested?
I am interested. Are you interested?
Yes.
Very good. Now listen carefully. The wise wizard of this land has been missing for several days. He has not been seen by anyone in person, which is very strange. It is the wise wizard that protects all the good creatures from the dark witch. We need 2 brave individuals to visit his tower high in the clouds to see if he can be found. Will you help us?
What do you think? Should we help?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. By any chance, have you already been inside my tree home?
Have we?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hopefully you have gathered some special things. What have you found?
I show the gnome what we have gathered from in and around his tree house.
Wow! You 2 are amazing! You have gathered all the items that you could from my home. I will also give to you now my flute. This flute will keep you safe if you know the right tune.
I take the flute from the gnome. I will keep them safe for us.
Now, you must continue to find potion ingredients. All the creatures of this land are searching for them. But, as experienced travelers, hopefully you will have the quickest success. There is urgency. The Dark Witch most likely already knows the wizard is missing. She will surely come out of hiding and wreak havoc. To help you get moving, I will tell you that straight ahead along this path, you will find the magic door. And you can choose where to go next.
Would you like to go toward the magic door or explore more here?
Go toward the magic door.
Okay. As we head toward the magic door, I realize that we will now need to travel to both the mountains and the sea to find potion ingredients. As we journey on, if you need to know what ingredients we have collected, just ask me, what items do I have? If you need the recipe and list of potion ingredients, just ask. Describe the recipe. We soon see an ivy-covered wall crossing the path in front of us. Peeking out of the ivy is a door. It is the magic door. Congratulations. You have completed this adventure. Would you like to open the door?
Yes.
The door is open. A new adventure awaits. In front of us is a land of adventures that begins here, with
Alexa.
3 roads.
Stop.
Okay, goodbye. Just say open the magic door when you're ready for an adventure.